topic for the day, we could say, actually, Holy Hour na to, although I will take this as the theme for the day. The priest, man of God, and teacher of prayer today. I would like to focus on the first part of the sentence, the priest, man of God and teacher of prayer. The priest, specifically on the nature of the priesthood. This is just a little review. Of course, we have all studied the priesthood, and I think it is one semester, that's theology. What is the priesthood? But it is also good to review once in a while. What I'll do is simply to take some of the numbers from the CCC, Catechism of the Catholic Church, on the priesthood. I'll just say the numbers later on kasi medyo nakamix na konti. And also from Pastores Dabo Hobbies. Basically, number 12. Pastores Dabo Hobbies. Dabo Hobbies. Pastores Dabo Hobbies. I will give you pastors, shepherds. Number 12, basically, but also 16 and 48. Okay, so 45 minutes. Kasi nawawala ko sa time. Kaya lagay ko may alarm. Okay, from the CCC, Catechism of the Catholic Church. Lagi ko sinasabi sa mga seminarians, try to study the CCC. At yung aming, I think, philosophy or second year theology na yata, may konting comprehensive din sila on the CCC. Sabi ko sa kanila, dapat basahin nyo at kung maaari kabisaduhin nyo yung CCC. Otherwise, kayo'y mag-CCC. Kabisado. Para walang mag-CCC. Number 1544. 1544. The one priesthood of Christ. 1544. Everything that the priesthood of the Old Covenant prefigured finds its fulfillment in Christ Jesus, the one mediator between God and man. The one mediator between God and man. The Christian tradition considers Melchizedek, priest of the God the Most High, as a prefiguration of the priesthood of Christ, the unique high priest after the order of Melchizedek, holy, blameless, unstained. By a single offering, he has perfected for all time those who are sanctified. That is, by the unique sacrifice of the cross. So, flashback muna tayo. We know that Christ is the high priest. Christ is the one mediator between God and man. Flashback tayo. The whole Old Testament figure of the priesthood was actually a prefiguration of the priesthood of Christ. In a sense, Christ is actually the model. Christ is the type of the Old Testament. It is not that Christ just followed or simply fulfilled the Old Testament, but rather Christ came first. He is the high priest. He is eternal, so there's not even a first and a last for Christ. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. The same. He does not change. He is the priest. So the Old Testament priesthood simply followed him. And to explain eternity, I don't know where I got it, although a very beautiful figure of eternity to explain also to the people. It's like, for example, you have a picture frame of a landscape. So, nandun yung Mount Makiling, nandun yung mga puno. Sensya na kayo. Try hard ako lagi mo ito. Okay, and then yung mga ibon-ibon, then you have the sun, flowers. The horse and everything. Okay, so reaper, whatever. explain eternity, to explain time. Time. When we are in time, it's like having a tube. Pag may tube ka, titignan mo ito. Although, halimbawa nakikita mo isang maliit na area lang. So, yan lang nakikita mo. But as you move along, as you move in time, nakikita mo yung picture more or less. Kita mo may clouds. Mamaya kita mo nandun yung sky, blue, and then kita mo may ibon, mamaya kita mo yung sun, kita mo yung bundok, kita mo yung flowers, kita mo yung trees, kita mo yung baka, yung tao, of course may tao din. Kahit kita mo lahat, pusa, taga, aso, kita mo. Little by little, because you've moved through time. Unlike pag eternity, kita mo buo. Kita mo yung buong picture. And that is God. Eternity. When we say God is eternal, He sees everything. He doesn't pass through time. So eternity is not endless time. Na time kasi kita mo one spot lang, isang area lang. Na tuloy hanggang sa labas ka na tuloy. That is not eternity. Eternity is outside time. Eternal means kita mo yung buo at one glance. Kita mo buong picture. And this is the case of God. When He is outside time, He is eternal. He is not limited by that little tube or telescope that we have. Tayo ganun, nakatali tayo yung mata natin nandun sa telescope. Going back, so Jesus is eternal. Siya, buo. So yung Old Testament, let's say, kalahati ng ating picture, diba, dito na tayo mag-tube ng tingin natin. Halimbawa, sabihin natin, Old Testament, New Testament. So, pag makita mo na yung one part, kita mo yung next part, even the Old Testament. Therefore, patterns its priesthood. Priesthood kasi ni Jesus is outside time. So, buo yan, nandun yung priesthood ni Jesus. So, the Old Testament priesthood is simply a prefiguration. When you talk about time, you have the pre and the post. But actually, prefiguration, even in concept, nandun sa, it takes the form, not because it is before, but it is before time, before 0 BC, we can say, before the coming of Christ. But still, the figure itself, the type, the model is Jesus Himself. So imagine, the whole Old Testament, sort of a preparation of the people, not a preparation of Christ, but of the people to receive Christ. To finally come to that fullness of the priesthood who is Christ. That is 1544. 1545, the next number of the CCC, the redemptive sacrifice of Christ is unique. So we now move forward. And accomplished once for all. Yet it is made present in the Eucharistic sacrifice of the Church. So what is the Holy Eucharist? What is the Mass? Sabi ng iba, dati lagi natin tinatawag the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass. And I think we still have to maintain that name, Holy Sacrifice. Some say it is a banquet of love. It is the Last Supper, kainan, communion, gathering together, agape, and so on. Yes, it also has that aspect of communion. But above all, sabi ni Pope Paul VI in his Credo, of the people of God, Creed of the people of God, I think 1969 or 1968. Kasi at the time, after the council, talaga nagkaroon ng nakulabog lahat sa simbahan. Then lahat ng theories, lahat ng experiments, sa liturgy, tinanggal lahat ng mga communion rails, tinanggal ng mga altar, nilipat, and so on, tinira lahat. And I think you have experts in cultural heritage. Medyo ngayon, marami nagsisisi na sayang. And even Pope Benedict XVI in his book, I think The Spirit of the Liturgy, sabi niya, and he himself, medyo nire-recover niya yung liturgy. Because even liturgy in the Second Vatican Council, it's not renewal of the liturgy in the sense of coming up with something new all the time. But actually, it was a restoration. Restore. When you restore something, it's not that you destroy it and you come up with something new. You restore to the original meaning. When you restore a church, it's not that you destroy what is existing.